The question is not, what can I build? The question is, what is the most important thing? What is the most valuable thing that I want to put my time and my tokens into?
Honestly, one of the things that we haven't been doing enough is showing or talking about what Opacity actually is. So Opacity is a platform where what you design is what ships, and our whole goal to eliminate the translation layer, that there is no more difference between design and code. So this video is actually two things. It's us diving deeper into that answer, but more than that, it's us opening the doors and finding out if we were right. Let's go. So if a machine can basically build anything we describe now, what's left actually worth doing? Part that used to be hard was actually building the thing. That's kind of just going away. But it's actually more nuanced and I think weirder than that, because once making the thing is basically free, the only question left is what's worth making and why you'd make it that way. And that part nobody can really do for you. A machine can't have your point of view. And I asked everyone on the team this exact question. That's the thing that all 5 of them handed back to me. But it was really interesting. Jeff came at it from the angle of craft, Jason from the angle of taste, Rick obviously from the engineering side. Dillon was talking about who we're even building this for, and Drew's was about the vision, why we're building this. And they all told me the same thing, is that when the building gets cheap, the value moves to knowing why. So let me just show you one at a time. I remember at ValioCon, when you were talking about Opacity, you were saying, I genuinely just want this to exist. If somebody builds it out from under me, great. So why does Opacity need to exist? What are you most sure about?
Yeah, Opacity originally comes from my desire to build something that I just wanted to exist. I got sick of that feeling that happens as someone who's a designer and engineer, where you design some system in Figma and it looks incredible, and you're like, I got to code this whole thing out. Even today, where you can do a lot of that with Claude, it's not going to get it all right, and it's not going to get it all correct. And there's still that time where it's like, man, I just designed everything. Why do I have to redesign everything but in code now, or chat and prompt for days and days about how to get this right? It's like that part is such a frustrating letdown. So what needs to exist is I need to just be able to, as a creative person, have a canvas where I can design something the way I want it to look and just be done. Once it looks the way I want, I'm done. It's already built. It can already be used to actually write code against, actual app functionality code against. But what can't be copied is decades of insight and work in the space of building software. And that's something that our team has. Big swings. Got to go bigger. Got to think bigger.
All right, so let's jump right into it. You see a lot of people going wider today, but you miss seeing people go deep. And tell me what you mean.
I think now with this new surge of AI and surge of people being experienced to this new technology, they're spending a lot of their time going wide. Like, wow, I can now design, I can now code, I can now be a product manager, right? I can be all these things really surface level, right? I've seen firsthand junior designers and a lot of designers and a lot of people in general getting really distracted with this wide kind of access to knowledge and not really fully leveraging kind of that knowledge to enable them to go as deep as they normally would have gone. AI has been encouraging people to go wider, and I miss people going deeper in kind of their craft. AI is a distraction sometimes to those who get excited about what it has to offer and don't properly leverage it where they already have expertise. Now it becomes AI doing the thinking, and AI is going to be the same thinking every single time. And so it's going to be outputting. You're going to have 50,000 people asking the same question, and they're all going to get 50,000 results, the same exact result, right? So That to me is the definition of slop. Where like there's no personality, there's no oomph behind what it did. I think that what we as designers and engineers and as people as a whole bring is our creative outlet, is our personalities, is our ability to have an opinion and to be convicted with this opinion, right? Have conviction behind it. That's kind of where Opacity is kind of starting to step in and answer. It's like, look, we no longer need to generate realism and slop. We want to actually have purpose behind what we're generating. It's always people who understand the whys, and they only apply these shiny things where those whys make sense.
I want to think about the system in two different layers. So we've got the Opacity app, the actual user-facing experience who is building in Opacity, someone who's designing in the visual canvas in Opacity. If you're used to working in a visual canvas, something like Figma, it's a very similar experience. It's just that our canvas is web-based, so everything is HTML and CSS. So we generate React, Preact, Svelte, Vue, and also vanilla JavaScript components for you. And we package all of that up in a way that is pixel for pixel perfect. We're not doing any translation. I mean, the visual canvas and the components that you've designed in Opacity that's provided to you already is a web-based canvas. So exactly what you see in Opacity is exactly what you get. Underlying layer to all of this that makes the data possible, because we haven't yet touched on the fact that this is a multiplayer, real-time, local-first, collaborative experience. That is all being managed by our own custom in-house built, real-time, multiplayer, local-first data architecture layer that we call Opaque. The hardest part about building Opaque, I think, is the branching logic. And the branching logic is really tricky to get right. And it's tricky to get right because it's probably the easiest place for a bug to creep in. It's the easiest place and the most visible place for a user to say, no, that's not right. Something didn't merge correctly. And when I say branching logic, you could think of like traditional Git style branching, but you might just think of like in Figma introduced this concept of branching a while back, right? And it's one of the cool things about building in Opacity is that for designers, they actually get to enjoy a branch workflow so that they can go off experiment on things completely in isolation from anything else. And now, for the first time, really, in a meaningful way, I would argue, Opacity is providing a true review experience for design. It's not putting you into a PR experience in GitHub. It is in the Opacity app. We are actually making review possible for you as a designer to have feedback on your review and for all of that to happen in the app. And so the sort of diff that we show is not code, still in the language of the visual design canvas. We shouldn't be asking humans to work around software. We should be asking software to work around humans.
All right, so it's super late right now. We've been so heads down preparing for this launch that we really haven't had any chance to do anything cool with it. So I'm gonna surprise the team. I haven't told anyone that I'm making anything. See what they think. They've been hard at work. I think they'll get a kick out of it. So actually, zooming out real quick, I think we hear a lot about it. It's like a hot topic that's on the tip of everyone's tongue in our industry right now, I think. And it's taste that I'm talking about. And it's such an abstract thing, right? And people keep dropping the word. I don't know if there's really a consensus on what taste is. Could we? What is taste?
I think we as designers have this this notion in our heads that like we all have some kind of layer of taste that's unique to us as individuals. But how do you give that to like an LLM? Like you can't really do that in a strategic way that'll work for everybody, right? Because then you're still templating yourself. My best take was taking, the 25 years designing, building, developing websites and startups and working for companies and trying to apply a lot of those things in a layer cake, essentially, that the LLM can leverage to try and be creative in and of itself, like give it the freedom to leverage not just my point of view, but other designers' point of view of what taste is and what is a good result versus just a trendy result. Also giving the LLM like this concept of gates that allows it to actually review its work against not just the intent of the design system and what the user prompted, but also all the examples of design and what is good in comparison to what it's done wrong in the past versus what it's done right. And so like witnessing that firsthand and witnessing like users coming in, generating a thing, having that initial like dopamine hit of like, holy crap, like I prompted a machine and it generated pretty good representation of what I asked it to do, but then they bounce, they leave. And that thing is just kind of left in the ether for the most time, or a lot of the time. They never come back and interact with that thing that the LLM generated. That's the thing that I really want to avoid. Just playing with the thing, like, almost as if it was like a bubblegum machine. I don't want Opacity to be a bubblegum machine. I want it to generate something meaningful.
So diving in, I guess like really one of the things that we could speak to is who is Opacity for, but who is it also not for?
I think Opacity is for, I mean, when we think about who it's for builders, that they're people that want to ship product. And I think what's cool is that AI and all the great tooling that's out there today is kind of collapsing a lot of those roles together. And so I think at the end of the day, Opacity is for builders, and it's for builders who want to build production like grade software that can scale to hundreds of thousands and millions of users, right? We're not necessarily building for builders who are building a simple app that ideally their family could use, right? These are the next generation of like speedrun or YC founders who want to build the next billion-dollar company. And they're for designers and engineers that are already at a hyper-growth company that they want to be, building and shipping product quicker than ever.
So I found a shop down here in Miami. I'm gonna go down, get a few things made, and surprise the team. Let's go.
Building in public is scary. Once you start, you can't stop. And that also means sharing like highs, and that means also sharing lows.
You can believe in something wholeheartedly and still be like quiet, locked in, heads down, kind of grinding mode. And that believing, I think it feels really good right up until the moment it feels scary. And the moment it feels scary is the moment like you have to find out if you were right. And for us, that's this week, and it's in public. It's right in front of the audience that we're hoping to resonate with.
My biggest struggle or internal battle is what I'm sharing good enough, right? Like, is it cool enough now that everyone's sharing some really cool shit? That is my biggest struggle. Am I worried that people are going to rip me off? Like, no.
So yeah, we've just been so heads down since we launched the new brand like a month ago. We haven't really had a chance to do anything with it at all. We've been kind of heads down, getting ready to ship and open the doors and stuff. So I did a little side quest on my own, and I got us made some dope founding team.
Dude, that's awesome.
Swag.
That's
I got the Nike.
So, back to the question from the beginning. If a machine can build pretty much anything you can describe, what's left worth actually doing? And could someone copy what we're doing? Yeah, sure. Someone could copy all our decisions and things like that. They could probably start today, but what can't be copied are the whys behind every decision, every trade-off, and all the insight, really the decades of insight, hard-earned insight underneath it. Our why as a team is what I believe in so wholeheartedly, because we are building the set of tools that we know that software has always needed, because we've always needed them. So the team dropped everything they were doing and joined Opacity. And that's why I love Opacity. That's why I love the team. That's why I love what we're doing here. And that's why we'll win. The doors are opening. So if you want in, you know where to find us. Hit us up. Sign up at opacity.com.